So what does this mean for the people of Kansas City and even for some here in the Ozarks? Let's take a look at the current map right here on the left side and the proposed map on the right side. The big issue is Kansas City over here. Currently, Kansas City is encased in District 5, and it's been Democrat, held by Congressman Emanuel Cleaver. The redistricting proposal will split Kansas City between 5 and 4. It dilutes with the more rural counties. District 5 would now be much wider and include the central part of the state, as 4 would take on half of Jackson County right here. So the argument is, if the redistricting is followed through, rural counties, which tend to vote red, would overhaul the typical blue vote of Kansas City, leading to what experts would say would be 7 Republican districts statewide with just 1 Democrat, and that one is over here in St. Louis. Welcome to Ozarks Today. On this Wednesday morning, a warmer start to the day as we have a nice look here at the Strip in Branson. King Kong hanging on for dear life, and we're going to be hanging on for dear life as the heat is returning. The emoji meter pretty much says it all, Brandon. Humid compared to what we have seen the last couple of days.
Yeah. KY3.com, we have all the resources you need in our First Alert Weather Resources tab. It's trending right here under the very top of our website, First Alert Weather Resources. That has the forecast and the interactive radar. Check that any time of the day, not just when we're on air, and also the maps we showed you for Missouri and Arkansas and those road conditions. Underneath that, we have our warming centers and our overnight shelters. So you can see the warming centers are all around the area. These dots right here, those are the warming centers. You can click on that. Polk County Library, for example, gives the hours of operation and their location. Overnight shelters, those are always open when it drops below 32 degrees.
The viewers have really responded and helped us out. Get an eye around the Ozarks. This is what we're looking at, like these trees in Willard right here, or even what we're seeing in Aurora. Those down limbs, they're knocking out power. That's what leads to those power outages. City Utilities asking, if you see a downed power line, stay away. It could be active. You do not want to approach that, and reach out to them so they can take care of it. Also, if you come across a 4-way stop and the lights are out, treat it as a 4-way stop where everybody has a stop, alternate, get through it nice and safe. So just be aware in those intersections. But yeah, the damage, we're seeing a lot from all around the area. Lawrence County, we see 18-wheelers kind of skidding off the road. There was one report at mile marker 75 on I-44, that's West Bypass, that was tying up traffic earlier. At the Springfield-Branson National Airport, this is an American Eagle plane. Now, it's not the largest plane, of course, in the fleet, but you can see the wind knocked it off of its front wheels and onto its tail right there. The airport confirming it is looking at possible plane and roof damage to the terminal as we speak. We'll have more on that as we continue with the news throughout the day. This is Republic. A brand new Sherwin-Williams store was going up, and now they're going to have to replace some of the walls that have been blown out. And to Monette, this was the first the damage that we saw coming in. This, we're told, was the MoDOT facility there in Monette, and you can see just toothpicks right there. We also have video right now from Nixa. This is northern Nixa off of Eagle Crest. That's between Tracker Road and that industrial court. You can see there is some damage right there across the parking lot, a lot of the insulation. Out in the background there is an auto shop, and I have a picture of that as well. This is what it looks like. We'll go right here before. You can see it has the office area, Lee, with the brick facade. You can go in there, and then it has at least 2 garages off to the side. Well, this is what it looked like when the storm made its way through northern Nixa. You can still see the bricks is fine, but the garages are gone. You can see even over here, there is a Jeep. Well, I can't zoom in. There's a Jeep on one of the lifts over there in the hydraulic shop. So definitely something to keep an eye on, along with the power outages. Keep those photos coming in as long as you're safe. The best way to do that? On the KY3 First Alert Weather app. And also, Lee, the good thing about the weather app is, say you have to go to shelter. Danielle and Nicolette say take shelter. We can live stream us on KY3 from your phone. Just in case the power goes out to your home and you're trying to listen from the living room, you can still get it right here on your phone. In our Decision 2025 coverage, we'll take a look at last night's results from the August election in Missouri. We start with the Ozark School District. Voters there have approved a tax revenue transfer. The district will increase the pay for teachers and staff without increasing the tax rate. It got overwhelming approval with 68% of the voters saying yes. Pleasant Hope, R6 school district, facing a similar tax issue. They needed approval to reallocate money to increase pay for teachers and staff, but the voters defeated that issue. 54% saying no, 46% casting yes votes. Meanwhile, in Polk County, voters approving a new use tax that includes local taxes for online purchases. This will help fund the sheriff's office and the prosecuting attorney's office. The measure wins approval with 53% of the voters saying yes. In Lebanon, voters cast their votes to double a lodging tax on hotels, motels, and Airbnbs. And that increases the tax rate from a 2.5% to now 5%. The extra money would be used to update the city's website and conduct studies and marketing for Lebanon tourism. A tax issue failed in a very close vote. 50.8% of the voters said no. 49.2% said yes. So this race just came down, as you can see, to 4 votes. Finally, voters in Dade County gave the green light to funding boost for the Everton Fire Protection District. Tax revenue increase wins approval with 77% of the vote. And remember, we have all these results from election night on our website, ky3.com. It's up at the top of the trending bar. You can just scroll on down and see exactly what happened, the breakdown of the numbers, and yes, all of the precincts now this morning reporting 100%. Also yesterday, neighbors joined with first responders for the annual National Night Out. This was the scene over at Springfield's Meadow Park last night. National Night Out is designed to make neighborhoods better and safer places to live by promoting police-community partnerships. Families met with police officers, firefighters, and other first responders as a part of the event. They also enjoyed some free hot dogs, ice cream, popcorn, running in the fire hose. Springfield police say they love getting to interact with the community like this. Other communities also had similar events all across the Ozarks. National Night Out started back in 1984, and it's usually held on the first Tuesday of August. A Springfield-based O'Reilly Automotive has filed a lawsuit against drug makers and pharmacy benefit managers. O'Reilly is accusing them of inappropriately driving up the cost of insulin. In the lawsuit, O'Reilly claims it currently costs manufacturers $2 to produce a vial of insulin. But the medication now ranges between $300 and $700 per vial. O'Reilly says it provides health benefits for its employees, and those benefits include paying for pharmaceutical drugs like diabetes medications. O'Reilly now wants to recover the losses it suffered due to what it calls inflated price of insulin. Several death row inmates in Arkansas are suing the state. They want to block the new law that allows execution by nitrogen gas. They argue this gives prison leaders too much say over how they should die. They also argue the method increases suffering. Attorney General Tim Griffin says he is ready to vigorously defend that new law. Several new traffic study laws are now into effect in Arkansas. We start with Act 327. Doubles the fines for moving traffic violations in mobile work zones. That's any area on the road where the work is being done for a limited period of time, like debris removal or pothole patching. Previously, fines were only doubled in static or stationary work zones, your more traditional work zone. Act 209 adds green lights to RDOT vehicles to improve visibility. And Act 117 will add information about driving safety in work zones to the Arkansas Driver's Manual and questions about it on the written driver's tests. So the nonprofit called Elevate Branson is moving forward with building tiny home communities, even though there was a stop work order from the city of Branson. So the tiny homes will be for low-income, elderly, and disabled residents. Branson city leaders would not confirm they issued that stop work order, and we were told that KY3 would have to submit a formal Sunshine Law request for any information. Even so, Elevate Branson directors say a stop work order is not preventing the nonprofit from getting work done on each of these tiny homes. Elevate Branson directors tell us their goal is to get up to 30 of these tiny homes finished and ready for families to move into within the next year. And if it's a tiny home or a large mansion, Brandon, you are going to need the air conditioning coming up for the next couple of days.
Yeah, not as humid as last week.